And then during the game against the Dolphins, Dan Dierdorf, the color man on CBS, he was pointing out, he was observing what was going on with Santonio Holmes.
Superb defense.
Here's what Dan had to say.
I hope that Santonio Holmes is hurt. We haven't been told that he's injured, but even if he was injured, I'm pretty speechless that he wasn't even standing on the sidelines watching his team drive down.
Because as we saw him on the sideline, Dan, he looked as he appeared to be unhooking his pads.
He's taking his pads off.
Dan Dierdorf outrage. I hope that Santonio Holmes. I could just, you know what? Yeah, listen. This is going to be I'm going to go way out there on this, way out on a limb. I hope Santonio Holmes is injured. I really do. Just because if he's not there, he's taken off the pads. He's not with his team. I hope he's injured. That's all I can say. He's a captain. That's all I can say. All I can say. This is Dan Dierdorf. This is just Santonio Holmes, I hope he's injured.
When he said that, I hope he's injured, I thought he was like meaning he didn't like him. I hope he's hurt.
That's what it sounds like.
I hope he's got a broken leg in 2 places.
I hope he's dead. I hope Santonio Holmes is dead.
I hope he's hurt, like Mark Bavaro was hurt when Ronnie Lott in 1987.
Remember, this reminds me of when, you know what he looked like? I hope he looked like Mark Bavaro in 1989, Monday night, November 2nd, 1989, after Ronnie Lott hits him over the middle, and he doesn't know where he is, Bavaro, where he is. And Ronnie Lott, this defense, designer defense. Santonio Holmes, I hope he's dead. I hate him. I hope he's got some sort of, I hope he has leukemia. I hope Santonio Holmes has leukemia. That's all I can say. Okay, Dan, we don't quite get that. But, no, I'm just saying that's the only reason he shouldn't be on the field without the pads. Okay.
And if you remember earlier in the year, he called out the offensive line. He called out Sanchez, said they weren't doing their job. And there's
Holmes did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
good captain.
Right in the Newark Star Ledger, they were talking about Schottenheimer benching him because he had quit, So
yeah, I mean, he's a talented player, but he's not captain material. And Rex Ryan makes him captain. You go, well, that doesn't make any sense.
LaDainian Tomlinson said that Holmes showed his teammates an I quit mentality throughout the game. This was confirmed by several sources, and it's not the first time it happened this year. So when you got other plays coming right out, it must have been pretty bad.
There's something else I'd like to explain to every Jet fan who's under 22 years old. LaDainian Tomlinson is not LT. So stop calling him that. Every time I see a kid call LaDainian Tomlinson LT, I want to strangle him. I go, you want to see a picture of LT? I'll show him to you.
Well, that and
LT.
And he hasn't been a shell of himself for the last 5 years. There's nothing special about him. He runs when there's a hole. He runs through it. He'll get 6 yards. You can dump it off to him in the flat. He'll pick up a few.
He was great for a while, but not with the Jets.
Dude, an injury is what ruined this guy, and people still talk about him like he was,
he's LT. They say LT, and I feel like I'm going.
He's not.
The real LT played in the '80s in Secaucus, had a bit of a substance abuse problem, but arguably the best football player of all time. And these little jerks with their Nicki Manjai CDs and their downloaded MP3s, little jerk off MP3 players, touchpad, 4G crap are calling LaDainian Tomlinson LT. No. Google on your iTouch LT and we'll see what you see.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a lot of your calls. Jets and Giants fans are on the line. And later on in the show, we got Mike Florio from the NFL on NBC. Our good buddy Brian Jones, CBS College Football. It's the Nick and Artie Show, 800-546-7663. Back with your calls after this.
Antonio Holmes.
Don't miss the next episode of the Nick and Artie Show when their guest is a guy who shot Plaxico Burress. Oh, wait, that is Plaxico Burress. It'll be somebody else.
Remember, if you miss any of the Nick and Artie Show, check out nickandartie.com for full commercial-free hours, segments, and podcasts. All on demand at nickанdartie.com. Yes, Artie?
I was going to say, I guess Santa didn't leave any new bumpers under the tree.
Yeah, Bill was probably off, right? But
Bill Curtis.
I'm guessing he's probably got a studio in his 70, right next to his burger ranch, whatever he's raising.
He's one of those
Kobe
guys.
beef.
Bill Curtis from American Justice. I watch a lot of him, by the way, because on all these channels now, there's American Justice Marathon, and he's one of those guys that you can't believe how rich he is. I bet from TV and stuff, where you go like, I don't know where he'll say like, well, we have 3 homes in the Sonoma, and
exactly.
And then I go down to Mexico, where apparently I have a beach house. Then, of course, I go to my luxurious penthouse on 73rd Street. Bill Curtis. Bill's still on vacation. He's still on the hill in Aspen, right? Yeah.
God bless him.
We can't get him to do more bumpers.
Let's go to our buddy Evan in Long Island. Evan, welcome to the show, pal.
Hey, what's good, fellas? Buonanno.
Hey, banana.
Hey, Nicky 2 times.
Yeah, I have like a couple of points. First of all, Rex Ryan is the NFL Chooch of the Year for 2011.
He could be. He could be.
So that should put all of the Jet talk in bed. And second, I just want to let you know that even though the G-Men had 2 big victories, I'm still kind of doubting the Giants deal a little bit after Romo put up that big second-half performance. I mean, the guy really crushed the secondary. So I wouldn't underestimate this Falcons team coming up this Sunday. And I'm afraid of these quarterbacks like Matt Ryan or the running back Michael Turner or probably even the best wide receiver, Roddy White. So the Giants have to really shape up and play off against this team. And
that's what I agree with Evan, kind of. I'm a little. I think Matty Ice is due to have a big playoff. He's never won a playoff game, and I think he's due. Although it's going to be interesting with the Giants, that vicious pass rush they have.
Jean-Claude Pierre and his arms will be at the game.
Go ahead, Evan.
One more thing before I let you guys go. If Norv Turner and Andy Reid keep their jobs and Tom Coughlin loses his after next week, then I think it's a huge travesty, in the NFL, man. I think that this guy should not lose his job whatsoever.
He's not gonna.
No way.
Coughlin's not gonna. No way.
They won the division going to the playoffs. Coughlin's
no way.
safe.
He's safe.
Coughlin's safe. But it would have been a travesty, I think, if he didn't make the playoffs because I like him. Let's see if
take it easy.
Thanks, Evan.
You both like the Falcons. Let's see if Vegas agrees with you. Early line.
I could tell you.
Giants
are 3.5.
They're giving 3 at home, so they're giving 3 at home here.
Yeah.
So that means basically Vegas has it as even, basically.
Good point.
So under over 48.
That was thought out beautifully by a gambler.
Under over, if it's 3 at home, it's even.
The smart money's on the.
And you like the Falcons.
I'm one of these guys that law of averages. You know what I mean? I just think this guy's. But Evan made a good. I couldn't tell if Evan was being sarcastic when he said the way Romo carved up the secondary, because at that point I was flipping over to we were watching my favorite prison show, Lockup. So remember, I was going between that and the Rolling Stones and the Giants game.
Lockup is fantastic, by the way. It's way more entertaining. That's the other thing about the league. To agree with Nick, they made such a big deal about this Giant-Cowboy matchup. What a boring game. The Cowboys are just, the Cowboys, I hope they have cancer. I hope they get cancer. Why are they not Dan Dierdorf has lost his mind. I hope he's hurt. I hope he's hurt. I hope he's dead. I hope he's paralyzed. I hope he's paralyzed. I hope Antonio Holmes is a quadriplegic, because otherwise there's no reason. But the Giant Cowboys, can we agree, just a boring game?
I get. Well, if you're a Giants fan, I'm sure you enjoyed it. But as a guy who used to be a Fran Tarkenton fan when I was 6.
Well, you are a Giant.
Myself from the team.
You are a Giant.
You can laugh into the mic, Dan. Feel free. It's unbelievable. He does these fake fat laughs, and then I'm really disgusted with the both of you.
Look at my contract. Dan has to laugh at least 4.
No, he does this when you say something. He shuts his eyes and he goes, ha, 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 ha.
Well, you think that's premeditated?
Then I do something a little bit, and then I do something.
What can I do?
I can't win. Not premeditated. You can't win. Please.
He's latching onto the wrong stagecoach here.
Let's no.
No, but my point is, okay, we were watching Lockup for like half of the third quarter, and I'm a Giant fan, and I really didn't care.
And that's the other.
It was boring. It just looked like they were dominating.
And that's the other thing about the NFL. We were watching Lockup. We didn't realize it. The same guys. They're on both shows.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy at Wabash.
He's got a teardrop tattoo.
This guy at Wabash.
A swastika on his neck and his forehead. I hope he makes Pruno wine under his bed.
I hope he's a white supremacist. I hope he's a white supremacist at Wabash. Look at the Wabash defense. Look at this guy. He throws his urine on a guard. I just hope he's a white supremacist.
Who is your Walter Payton of a lockup? What was his name? The big guy?
Walter Payton? What are you talking about?
Your favorite lockup guy. Who is your top primo guy?
Well, the Aryan guy, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan.
Right. Not the Spur.
The Aryan guy who's like 90% Cherokee.
Not the San Antonio Spur guy.
This guy, Tim Duncan, Aryan guy, he's about 6'2", maybe. But he looks like he's about 205, 210, shredded. But he looks like he's about 55 years old now. His hair's like the middle of his back. He collects debts for the Aryan Brace in prison. So.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he could play strong safety for somebody.